I was really, oops, okay. I had a session with Nkosi yesterday, and I had a very, very serious problem going on, and I needed to get some clarity on it, which I got. But when we started the meeting, I told him that I really didn't want a monologue. I didn't want to just hear I'm not a person and I'm not this or not that or that's not happening, because in my heart I really felt something was happening. And anyway, it was. I'm really glad I shared that with him because it really helped a lot in our communication. I felt that he really kind of was really with me and what was going on with me. And sometimes I feel, and I kind of feel it with Sander. I mean, he's probably going to be here or whatever, but sometimes I feel like it's kind of a monologue that happens, and it doesn't really kind of reach me. But I don't know. I'm just opening this up and saying this, and I don't really know where it's going, but just sharing with what my experience is.
Good, good. Yeah, it's good that you asked Nkosi for what you wanted. You know, it's your session. Have it your way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I guess how can somebody else know what you need or want? And sometimes it seems scary to be that open and that doing that. But I realized that uh, I could listen to any one of the tapes and that I have of him if I wanted to hear kind of a monologue rather than schedule a session and pay him for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes a monologue, just hearing the words repeated can be, uh, you know, so to say, do the trick. And other times in a listening, you know,
Yes,
just somebody listening to what you're saying.
yes,
It's amazing what listening to somebody, and often you don't have to say much.
yes, yes, that's true. I want to share though what you shared with me yesterday, Michael. Michael and I happened to have a little conversation. Uh, uh, he's so gracious. I want to call him sometimes briefly that he's there for me. But and maybe you want to go into sharing this, Michael. But I felt such freedom and liberty when you shared with me about maybe non-duality, or that word is not it either, that could be a word like Buddhism or Course in Miracles or anything. And and I'm maybe not saying it the way you said it, but for me it was, I got a lot of good stuff out of A Course in Miracles. And I thought maybe I should go back and read it. I should go back and study that. But when that's not it, Rupert's not it, and even what we're doing is not it, because everything is this. And just pondering today that everything is this, it was like so freeing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's, you know, even non-duality can sound like a resting place.
Yes,
And it's really just more words. Non-duality doesn't mean anything.
yeah. I really like that.
Well, it's like just to tell a story, it's like whatever word the mind hears, it immediately objectifies it. It objectifies it, meaning it turns it into what it thinks it is. So even if I say nothing, you still can't help but get some sense of what nothing is. It's just,
Yes.
you know, so it's not even nothing. That's why, you know, because even a nothing is a something.
Yes.
And what we're talking about at this meeting is not a thing.
You kind of say that all the words are just like temporary stopping places. but you never want to land there.
Well, words are just like useful, I'm hungry,
Yeah.
let's go get some lunch.
Yeah.
But words are just words. Like the words don't care, right? The word hot doesn't care about hot. The word is sort of innocent. Their words are neutral. They don't have any meaning until, so to say, they're given meaning. Ah, this means this. Oh, he doesn't like me. Oh, I got a dirty look. I don't think they like me.
Yeah, I kind of notice sometimes that there can be, and I've done this too, but there could be a grasping at a certain word. It's almost like the word's got, you've given it projected meaning onto it, and you could have used the word blah, 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 and that would have been the same thing. But there tends to be, and I hear this in a lot of different things on the web, there's that grasping of people trying to say, this is the word.
Yeah, you might notice like moving away, you'll often hear, well, the word God has too much baggage, the word love, too much baggage, so then it can be said, well, the word this is chosen just this because it has the least amount of baggage. Like it does,
Yeah.
what is this? It doesn't really define into anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Harvey, you were talking about stopping places. And I mean, we could ask the question, who stops at the stopping place? Meaning that, the words are stopping places for the person, for me. Me kind of goes together with the words. So words and a me, the words give the me. The me is always starting and stopping and using the words, the story, to travel, from one place. It's always on a journey, traveling from one place to another. But if there's no person, then there's no stopping place. So then the words don't matter.
Yeah, I think it just appears like it. There's like a stopping, or it just appears like it. But you're right. There's no one to stop, and there's nowhere, and there is nowhere to stop because there is no separate place. But in language, we just use the words, and I guess it's like we use the words to talk, but also being aware not to grasp at the word as if it has more than just a sound that we're just kind of using in language.
Right, but there's already nobody doing that, Harvey. They're just
Yeah.
the words, I know it sounds crazy. Like I know, right? But the words are just tumbling out of our mouths, so to speak.
Right.
But you can't identify where they're coming from. You can't find a starting place where these thoughts, words are coming from. You just can't.
Right.
But yes, the person is automatically grasping at the words. Always. That's what the person does. It's always looking, it's always, using the words to grasp, and it's always trying to get, that person is trying to get to my my destination, where I'm trying to get the thing that I'm trying to get. It's always on a journey to get. And so for that person, then the words are food for that. And they always work that way. They just do. And so this we could say this meeting is sort of pointing to the fact that that person is not here, that journey is not going on. And that's a little bit different than everything else in the world. Because all the words are functioning as a person and as, going somewhere, getting something, doing something.
Right.
The words are never a problem. Words are never a problem. It's only a problem for me. The words are cool. Anger, words don't get upset. I do. The me. I'm always, so to say, the problem.
Yeah, words are only a problem for me. And I would always say, add, that words are always a problem for me, because everything is a problem for me. Me is a problem already. And then we're also pointing out, saying, well, look, there's no problem, but that means there's no me.
Well, me or no me, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't, these words that tumble out, whether you say there's a me here saying them or you don't. I don't say a me is saying them. I say the words are just tumbling out. It doesn't matter. The result is the same, right? Whether there's a claim of a me here or not, it makes no difference.
Except to me. I mean, that's the point.
Yes, Nina.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is a great conversation about the me. The last few days, there's been a lot of resistance, and I'm resisting it. So not that I'm doing it, but there's a resisting of the resistance, and it feels like there was a deeper and deeper suffering by doing that. Like the resisting of loss, the resistance of, like, if I felt jealousy, I was trying to resist that. Like I'm trying to get rid of it because I don't like it. There's a not liking it, and there's a belief that if I try to get rid of it, I'll feel better. And it's like I'm trying to get advice from people, and I'm trying to get, like support and all these things in the world through teachers and gurus and religions, and none of it has worked. And then the frustration comes because nobody can help. Like nobody can say anything that can help.
No.
And it brings up a lot of fear, because it's like, oh no, like I don't know where to go or to turn or nothing. It's like, and I know that there's just a surrender. It's like, okay, just surrender to the resistance, like just be in it, I guess, because that's all that's happening. There's just this wanting to get rid of something, and instead of just, like, I just kind of got fed up. Like I just get beside myself, so to speak, and then it just feels like everything is just nothing. Like there is no, people are trying, like all these spiritual entities are trying to find answers and ask for support and ask for financial help because they're building, an ashram, or they're building this and that. They need support, they need financial support, and it brings up all this guilt, and I have to feel like I have to be of service. And I'm just like, I am tired. There's a tired fatigue feeling within me. I don't feel, it's like I just want to say no to everything. And just everything. I just want to feel better. Like I'm trying so hard to make the world into a better place or lift it up. And
Yeah, it can be exhausting.
I'm exhausted, and I'm frustrated, and I'm angry, and it's like, where's all this stuff, this irritation coming from? It's like the me is trying to say, I got the answer to your problem. Go do this in the world. Go do something, and let's fix it together. And it doesn't work. I mean, I've been through all of the Baha'i Faith, the Al-Anon, the Course in Miracles, following all the gurus, and then all the names: Divine Mother, God, Holy Spirit, Lord, Divine Father, Lakshmi, Durga, Kalima, all the Divine Mothers forms. And then I got all these photos all over my house, and it's like, what am I trying to prove? Like, it's like there's something I need to, why do I have to chase something? And I'm frustrated because I feel like I'm tied into this. somehow. Like it's like an old, like there's a spiritual ego going on. Like I'm tired of being spiritual.
Well, yeah, that was kind of my point about non-duality doesn't mean anything either.
Yeah.
It's so funny how, like I said, it can get objectified. So there really is a Vedanta, you know, I don't even know what. I mean, something, right? Something you can reach. Um, and just what's shared at this meeting is this is already it. So there's just what's happening. There's just this Zoom meeting, just us having this little chat here, looking at these little squares and asking questions, listening, disagreeing, agreeing. Just this, the simplicity of just this, getting frustrated, Nina. That's it. You sharing your frustration is it.
Thank you. It just feels good to have for the vocal cords to be active and share stuff, the crap.
Yeah, get it.
And then it just to be received without, oh, we gotta fix you. Like I'm tired of people trying to fix me. Every time I try to express myself, it's like, oh, can't say that, can't say this, because I'm gonna get all this resistance back at me. And I'm trying to control all of that and manipulate it. And I don't want people feeling like I'm too much. Like, oh, I can't hear that because it's too negative. Like I'm trying to get rid of my negativity. And it's like it's like an obstacle course and I gotta figure it out. And I don't want to anymore. It's just
Yeah. Well, it's hard to get rid of what you're already not doing.
right. There's no one doing it.
Yeah, it's just what's happening.
It's just what's happening. And I'm watching. There's just a watching it. Seems to be a noticing, so to speak, of that.
Yeah.
And there's no me to feel ashamed. There's no me to feel humiliated or wanting to hide, even though there's a wanting to hide and wanting to be isolated. And then there's a feeling like it doesn't want to be isolated. It's like, it's like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it's like this tug of war happening. And I'm tired of the tug of war. There's a fatigue around it, being pushed around or pulled around and it's just energy that it feels like energy of being pushed and pulled in all different directions. And my mind is so full of knowledge right now. Like it's so full. It's like to the brim. And people will be talking to me and I can't hear them. I can't take it in. Or I'm trying to express a name of somebody I know so well and I can't think of the name. It's like my mind just draws blanks all the time.
So Nina, let me just ask you, what do you want?
I want to slow down and have peace. Like I want it's like time to slow down. I just done with time, trying to rush and catch up to it and just peace out. Like that's it. That's why I'm here, to peace out. And I know that's just part of this. Like it's a little piece of this, right? Because everything is this. So the feeling of peace is just a little piece of this.
Well, wanting peace from this, as you said, I just want peace, Michael. That's it. That's it. Asking for peace is this already. It's not a you. It's not a separate person. It's just what's coming out there.
Right. The desire is already here, so to speak.
Well, you're not doing it. The seeking is just happening like the rain. You know, it can just rain for no reason and then it can stop. And same with seeking. You can seek for years, decades, and then all of a sudden it can just, one day you just, oh, what was that all
That's what
about?
I want. I want that. I want that. Just end seeking. Like I'm done. I don't, there's just so much in the world where people say, you want this, you want that, this is what you need, this is what you need. You need more of this, you need more of that. And I'm just like, I don't want anything. I'm tired of accumulating things, whether it's digital or information or possessions, material, whatever it is. Because
The
what's
seeking,
it all for?
no, I know, the seeking isn't actually a problem. That's not the problem. The seeking is that I don't like it. That's the problem. There's nothing, I mean, we seek all the time. I think we talked about this at a meeting. We seek for our car keys, you know, we seek for our clothes, we seek for the toilet. And seeking is not, it's the me saying this shouldn't be happening. I don't like this.
Correct. That's it. That's it. And that's it feels like a resistance energy. And it hurts. It just hurts.
I really appreciate you sharing. Just wanted to let you know it's
Thanks,
as if
Alice.
I feel it in myself as you talk. Doesn't that energy though, Michael or whoever, doesn't matter, have an energy though? It's kind of like I think whenever I've stopped something, whether it be even stopping smoking or something, there is an energy that happens. Can anyone identify with that or feel that? I mean, when I don't really seek so much the seeking spiritual anymore, but it sure took me a very long time to not do that. And part of it was this meeting Michael and the meetings that I've attended. But there certainly was a momentum for a while before I came to a place of relative peace with the seeking. Anyway, I have other stuff I try to gather.
Yeah, it just feels good to confess.
Yes. Yes.
And not identify with
Yeah,
anything.
it's a different vibe. You know, the vibe at this meeting is a little different because it's saying it's already done, so to speak. Even if it doesn't feel like it, like, you know, I understand it can feel really confusing, really, a lot. But that's it too, you know, the confusing, the not liking. The not liking is as much it as the liking.
Yes, I'm tired of thinking everything's a problem and then I got to fix it. And it's all on me to fix it. Like I have to figure it out all by myself. I got nobody to help me fix it. So it's like a burden and I don't want to fix anything anymore. That's the tiredness.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say exhausting. It here was felt as it was exhausting trying to figure everything out. So here, as I've shared before, nothing worked. Nothing.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's a belief that certain people have more spiritual knowledge and experience and they're better than, and I've got to follow in their footsteps in some way and I'll get there one day. And it's like they know they have something I don't. And that just, it just, it rips my heart out in a way. It just makes me feel so awful. Like there's all this sense of separation, even though that's all just beliefs.
Well, sometimes I get caught into that stuff. I call NKOSI. He's like my mentor, and I've used him for a couple of years. But when I get all messed up and turned around, you know, it's like he can help me in a real way, rather than going to my best friend who lives here or there or anybody. But I think a teacher like him, Michael, people that are into this stuff are really helpful to me, because they can help me stop it. They can help me see what the truth is, or just show it to me. I don't have to go any further about it, but I find that very helpful, because I've certainly gotten into that thing where it goes around and around.
The loop.
The loop, yep. The gerbil's wheel, huh?
Wow, there's this feeling of like something's on, there's something big is shifting or something. It's like something's happening. Like, it's like this, it's just everything's falling off. It's like collapsing. All these beliefs are just collapsing. And I'm welcoming it. There's a welcome to that.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, bring that on. It's like a eureka moment or something. And I see behind you, Michael, a very plain looking room behind you, very little thing, not much stuff. And it just makes me feel so happy for some reason. There's no clutter. I'm just like, yeah, that's it. There's nothing to distract the mind. Like there's just nothing to go, oh, I got to do this. I got to fix this. I got to straighten that out. I got to, like, all of that perfectionism. It actually triggers my perfectionism, trying to fix everything and tidy and clean and put away things and put them in their place. And it's like, oh, just, there's nothing. So plain and simple.
So are you saying that Michael's wall is better than my wall?
Yours is very tidy, and I like that too.
So I guess I was just going back to it. It's, you know, it doesn't matter.
No, but it's just the mind feeling crazy sometimes. Like,
but I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes I think that about my place, but it's good to enjoy what I right
of course.
now. And I just don't live like Michael.
It's not a belief. It's more of a in the moment. It's just a passing feeling, right? Everything's here and gone.
Yeah.
So it's
tendencies come and go like the wind. I was just talking to my sister about this. She goes, well, you make your bed even though you live alone. And it's true. I just was always neat and clean and organized and made my bed since I was a little boy and have never stopped. And my sister was the complete opposite. She was messy and slovenly as kids. I mean, she would take dry cleaning and just chuck it into her closet, not even bother to hang it. You know, you couldn't tell what color her carpet was because there was so much crap on the floor, and she hasn't changed. And there's no her and I were talking about it. I said, yeah, it's just sort of how the wind blows. I just happen to be neat and organized and make my bed. And she goes, yeah, I can't get myself to pick anything up. It's like, you know, a problem. And I said, it could have been the other way. I could have been messy and disorganized by nature. There's just how the wind blows.
Mhm. And it's not about anybody.
Exactly. It's not personal.
It's not personal.
No, no.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick your tendencies are just, they're not yours. They're just the tendencies, you could say, of the body. So your body has tendencies. What time it likes to go to bed, kinds of foods it likes, all of that's just on autopilot, so to say.
That's so good to hear.
Everything is allowed. Everything.
Try and stop it.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo, so I apologize if
Oh.
if anybody's hearing an echo.
Maybe it's me.
I hear an echo too.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, so what does just what's happening look like? Well, it looks like this. It can be boring, it can be exciting, it could be, you know, a snooze fest. It just, there are no rules. You could be bored. You could be bored out of your mind 1 minute, and the next minute just be engrossed in something else. Just, you know, it's just like, I mean, it's like, you know, the ocean never stops moving. You know, the waves are always moving. This is never the same. It's just constantly shifting moods, feelings, ideas, thoughts, things that set you off, just simply come and go like the wind. And there's no rhyme or reason, there's no control. And thinking that you have control is just this. Thinking that there's somebody separate that could control this is just this. And when I say control, I mean anything. That's the freedom. It's all. There's no, I hear a lot of yeah, buts. I know it's all this, Michael. Here it comes. So when I hear but, it's like, that's it too. Whatever the but is, that's it too. You may not like it. That's usually what the but means. Well, I know it's all this, but the part I don't like, and not liking is this too. It's completely fine not to like. It's okay.
Is there a place for the word discipline in this, what you're pointing to?
Yeah, discipline's not separate from this.
So I'm thinking here, so I've been doing a lot of disciplines lately, okay? And feeling a lot better too. So I'm trying to figure out if there's no me doing the discipline, me thinking about, okay, if I do this, then I'll get this and I'll feel better. And that, what is it that is igniting the discipline? What is it that's bringing up the discipline and this biology over here, then acting on it?
Yeah. Nice try. Yeah, there's no answers, Don. There's no
Oh,
there's no answers. It's just I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just what's happening. There's no explanation as to why. That's just this, asking why.
so, okay, yeah. So I keep getting stuck, of course. So I'm not, it's just going to happen or not. It's not, or the discipline that I've been using and the results that have been coming out is just happened. And it's just this. But I still keep what goes on in me. There's had to be something that to say, okay, if you do this, this will happen. So do this. And so I'm stuck there at that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what is it that you're trying to do?
Well, with the disciplines,
Yeah.
well, really, to be honest, I'm using the disciplines to, oh God, how, I'm using the disciplines to experience, I'm going to use that word, the non-dual state. So, I mean, the more I'm doing the disciplines, the more I'm not here. So to using those kinds of words, the more things are just happening, it's becoming more of my experience, and it's wonderful. Yeah. So that's the reason I'm doing this. And one thing is like when I meditate, usually I will sit down and I will meditate. The duality more kind of meditation. Now a lot more as I meditate is just meditate, sit, meditate. Okay. And I'm leaving more of the I out, which is, I'm saying the benefit of the non-dual, and then it supports the non-dual tremendously.
Yeah. So how's that working?
Great.
Oh, okay.
Oh, absolutely. Great.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it too.
But I'm still saying I sort of like, I want to, it's not that I want to get credit for doing it, for my disciplines, credit for me, just for me, not from anybody else. But my sense is if I do more disciplines, even keep them up, do more, that work, that even this non-duality becomes more alive for me. As opposed to just thinking, well, do whatever, it doesn't make any difference, I'm not doing it anyway. It seems more like, then it's just like, well, I'll either get the non-dual state, so to speak, or not. But like, it's not up to me at all, that I've got nothing to say about it. And I'm just arguing for the possibility of that I do have something to say about it. And in that, I'm at the end, I'm going to have to let go. I get that. I'm going to have to let go. But in the interim, in the seeking phase, yeah.
Well, what's being shared here, Don, is just this. This is it. This is the non-dual state, so to speak, that you're looking for already. It's just here as the meeting, my voice, you asking questions, That's it. That is what is looked for. It's already the case. And those questions just innocently can come up, and that's just what's happening. And interest in them can arise, right? Like you said, wanting to get more disciplined, that can arise. But what's shared at this meeting is that's it too. It's already the case, and trying more disciplines is also it. So that's the no escape part. There's just no separation. Even the feeling of separation or the thought of separation isn't separate from this. You know, oftentimes as a, seeker, quote unquote, the red flag is, well, I still feel separate, so I guess I'm not there yet. Yeah, I still feel separate, so I'm not there yet. Well, there is no there. There's just feeling separate. That's just what's arising, and that's this too. You're not even doing the feeling separate. That has nothing to do with anyone. It's just a feeling of being separate. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, okay, I feel separate. Now what? I don't feel separate. Now what? So there can be a resonance with the word already. That was what was here, the word already. I can't even tell you how strong already meant. Well, if it's already, then it's done. That's what already means. It's already the case. It doesn't mean seeking can't still happen, or following teachers or gurus or reading books or watching videos. All that's still this. It's still fine. So it doesn't matter to this. Or watching a tennis game is, just as much this as going to a non-duality meeting. It's just the spiritual seeker has a story about this, and the tennis fans, for them, that's their, where they want to be. They want to be watching tennis, and if you're a seeker, maybe you find yourself here.
And maybe the tennis guy goes here too.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. There's just whatever seems to be drawing your attention.
Yeah.
But nobody's doing that. That's kind of what I'm sharing. The interest just randomly 1 second, oh, okay, I'm not going to eat anymore. It's getting late. 10 minutes later, I'm in the freezer eating the ice cream. What the heck? That can just innocently happen. Interests just pop up and no one's doing it.
Yeah.
So nothing was figured out here. Nothing was seen. Nothing was figured out. Nothing was seen. I tried every practice I could. None of them worked. That's all I can say. I can't really say anything.
Well, Michael, couldn't you say that, even as you were going through all those practices, that that was all this that was happening anyway, and that in a sense that those practices were really rich. In a sense, I would say that they brought me to you, to this place. And I'm really grateful for that, but I really don't think I'd be interested in what you said if it hadn't been for those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There can be great insights, when you're reading some of these books, you can read a quote, let's say, and it can really, wow, like just stop you in your little tracks. But also, there was a great deal of frustration of never quite being there. So yeah, there were little hits along the way, but there was a ton of suffering going, what's the problem? Why can't I get this? He got it.
But I'm asking, wasn't that just necessary in a sense because it did happen and because that was this to have you be here tonight talking to us?
No, I see. The thing is, I can't say
Okay,
it
you
was
can't say.
cause and effect. I can't
Right.
say there was anything that led to.
Yeah, I seem to be stuck. I seem to be stuck in thinking that there is that the books I've read and the workshops I've attended really did have something to do with me being here. And it seems like most people, including Nkosi, uh, uh, Jim Newman, they all have kind of a quote unquote spiritual history and books and things like that that they have been into kind of before maybe waking up. Just saying, I mean, I just didn't know at the time I was doing it that that this was all it too. So I was striving to get something, and now I am glad to be here.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I get it. It's so funny how this can flip on a dime because, there was a time when if there was a fire, the non-duality books would have been the first thing grabbed.
You say the non-duality?
Yeah, the non-duality books would have been the first thing in my most favorites, if I could only grab a handful, whatever those favorites were, they seemed to change. And then one day after there was just such love and reverence for these books, that they were going to unlock some mystery, was like between the lines. And it was the strangest thing because I did not try, I just woke up one day and I just couldn't read another word. It was the strangest thing. It just left me just in a split second. I looked at my bookshelves and I knew they were all going in a box that day. And the reason, if I can give one, this is the only really I could give, is the words had a deadness to them. The non-duality books had a deadness. And what we're speaking of is this, it's alive. And so the books seem secondhand all of a sudden. It was a report about, I want this right here.
I understand what you're saying, but those poor books. I'm thinking, you know, those
Or-
wonderful books that you loved for so long, and that I have loved for so long, and I really don't read anymore. But those lovely books took me here or brought me here, even though I don't look at them anymore and read them, but I look at them with a sense of love and reverence. They have really served me, but I don't read them anymore, except this. I read the book you wrote with Nkosi. All is this.
Yeah, well, maybe NKOSI, welcome. All is
Hi.
this.
Hi,
Maybe
Hi,
Nkosi.
Kosi.
that
Hello, everyone.
everything was in the title, NKOSI. Maybe you can say a few words about all is this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to circumvent his question, but I've been trying to get this. Like, you too went on a search for, like, you were a priest or a minister or something like that. But I guess I need an answer. I mean, didn't you feel that all of that maybe helped contribute to the beauty that you're now living in? I mean, how can we negate some of the past and the books, the places we've been? I guess I'm stuck on this right now. I mean, isn't that all beautiful and brought you to where you are today? It's kind of like a train that brought you to a place. Or sometimes I guess that's maybe not necessary, but most of us that I know about, you know, yourself, Jim Newman, Tony Parsons, they all speak about that interest in spirituality prior to their awakening.
yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. During the seeking,
Yes,
there was an instant seeking happening here. Meditation, trying to be still, happening.
yeah,
Yeah, reading of the books. But the recognition, when it was recognized that there's just this,
yes,
there is no one here, it was also recognized that the me, the apparent me that was searching, looking for this, wasn't even there. It just never happened.
right.
Yeah.
Just
But at
like
the
Michael,
time,
yeah,
sorry?
I said, just like Michael said, but at the same time, those things seem to serve a purpose, didn't they?
Yeah, they seemed to serve the purpose when there was an intense seeking.
Yes.
And when the recognition happened,
Yes.
you know, it's just.
Yeah, beautiful. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I was looking. That's what I was looking for.
But when it was recognized that there wasn't anyone who was doing anything, you know, it was just this. Everything is this. There was no seeker. But at the time, it seemed as if there was a real seeker.
Yeah.
So it was just this. It's just this already. Doing everything, reading books, seeking, confused, being
Yes.
stuck. So there's no one here already. No one got anywhere. No one is enlightened here already. No one found anything. Everything just collapsed. And it was recognized that there wasn't any individual who was doing anything. Even right now, there's already no individual even that which is asking a question is just vastness, this wholeness asking a question. So it just doesn't mind answering as well. But there are no real questions or real answers. Everything is empty, yet everything is full. Yet there are no real things, I would say, apparent things, because this is not a thing. It can never really be pointed at, can never be grasped, can never be known, understood, because it's already every apparent thing. It's nothing being every apparent thing, if I should say. There's no description, really. Itself as it is already wordless. There are no words. Yet it's appearing as words. So words themselves can never really change anything, can never really change this. What is, can never really do anything. They are empty. They are these two.
So it's kind of like switching from, thinking that I'm a person, the doer, something happens. Like something, like Michael, you were saying something just kind of happened when they said it's this already, it just like snapped and you were in this other place. And I don't even know if that's the proper terminology. Probably not, but it sounds like black and white in a way, and you suddenly saw the world differently.
No one saw the world.
Oh,
Yeah, no one saw the world differently. And no one is seeing the world differently right now. There's no one here.
so someone fell away. You saw there really was no one. Is that what it would be, kind
Yeah,
of?
I would say it was seen that there was no one anyway.
Was seen.
No one here and no one anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nobody sees that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like the falling away, so to say, is not replaced by anything.
Mhm. Beautiful, got it, got that, yeah.
The process is beautiful. It's a beautiful story, like all stories, or many stories, we could say anyway, have beauty. But the beautiful story didn't help anyone. There was no one who was served or helped.
You're right, yeah.
But it's still beautiful. Like this. Here,
Beautiful.
what's this is. This is beautiful. And there's no one being helped in this meeting.
Mm.
No one who needs to be helped. No one who can be helped. And no one who's really believing the story of me that I need to be helped and and it just isn't right just now. I still need to get it. There's no one who's really believing that. It's just a story. It's showing up.
Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening?
It's been really a great meeting. I know I've talked a lot, but I've certainly enjoyed the meeting and the discussions we've had.
Thank you, Alice.
Same.
Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Don. Thank you, everybody. Layton, Harvey, everyone,
Thank you.
Dan,
Mhm.
Lori,
Thank you.
Jenny, Nkosi, Faith, Alice. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye-bye.
I know.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.